Welcome to the Rock Fight, where we speak our truth, slay sacred cows, and sometimes agree to disagree. This is an outdoor podcast that aims for the head. I'm Colin Shawnté, and today Shawnté Salabert and I will be talking about an absolute cornucopia of outdoorsy topics to come out of the outdoor venture community. But before we get to that, did you happen to catch the Outdoor Town Draft? If you didn't, go back and check it out on last Friday's episode of the Rock Fight, and then head to rockfight.co to vote for who drafted the best roster of outdoor towns. And lastly, are you heading to Switchback in June? If so, you know what to do. Put the Rock Fight live on your agenda for Tuesday, June 17th at 5 o'clock in the Trailheads Theater. I'll be there with Shawnté, Owen, producer Dave. It's going to be the event of the summer. That's at the event of the summer. A lot of events of the summer this summer, guys. I can't speak today. Here we go.
You're too
Don't
excited.
miss the Rock Fight live. Stick around. We'll be right back. You're listening to Rock Fight Radio. My God, is that Fitz's music? You know it is. Get ready for There's a Smile on My Toes.
Woke up this morning feeling so alive. Sunshine in my step, making my spirit jive. Whole foot comfort wrapping me so sweet. Dancing on clouds with every beat. There's a smile on my toes every single day. Cool and warm together in a brilliant play. Free range toe box lets my feet sing. Fits is the joy that each new step brings. Deep heel pocket hugging me just right. Fine gauge merino, soft like the moonlight. Laughing and skipping, feeling so fly. In a happy place with every stride. There's a smile on my toes every single day. Cool and warm together in a brilliant play. Free range toe box lets my feet sing. Fits is the joy that each new step brings.
That was There's a Smile on My Toes from Fitz, because that's what whole foot comfort looks like. New spring styles are in stores now. Didn't get your orders in? No need to cry. Just send Judy. You know Judy. Everyone knows Judy. Send Judy an email at customerservice@fitzsock.com, and she'll turn those frowns upside down. Oh, tell your feet that we said hi. And now, back to the show. All right, it's Wednesday. We're here with Shawnté. And Shawnté, I need to start something that I discovered today that I'm a little mad that I didn't know already, because I was doing some research, as one does for our podcast.
Oh, yes. So much research.
And I was looking at the, not to say it twice in the same show, the cornucopia of Everest stories that are now on Explorer's Web.
Where are
right?
you just looking at, like, fruit baskets?
It's just an apt word, you know? I'm a big Thanksgiving guy. I don't care if it's May. I'll invoke Thanksgiving.
You're just
it's
dreaming
fine.
of stuffing right now?
When are you never not dreaming of stuff? Stuffing rules.
I mean,
you aren't, because it'll hurt your belly.
It will, but there's really good gluten-free stuffing out there. I was actually...
Oh, that's good.
I'm trying to get together all my resupply packaging I'm doing a couple weeks on the trail this summer, so I'm starting to do my food planning, which is always deeply exciting. And I was hoping... I totally biffed this year, though, and I did not buy any gluten-free stuffing at the end of the holiday season. So no mashed potatoes, stuffing, and gluten-free gravy for me on trail, unless someone wants to send me a box real quick. Anyone?
New sponsor opportunity. Well, actually, it's kind of apt for what I was going to say. There's a mountain in the Himalaya, very close to Mount Everest, that is related to what happens to you if you were to eat regular stuffing. This mountain is called Shartsi.
Shartsi. I'm pretty sure you're saying that wrong.
No.
No, yes. There is not a mountain named Shartsi.
It's Shartse.
I believe-
It's Nopsi, Lotsi, and Shartsi.
No, see, I believe like the R is silent. It's like Shotzi. It's like
It's
a deli.
fucking Shartsi.
I
all right?
don't know. I mean, again, I'm not mad at it. You know me, my track history of what I like to talk about on this podcast. But yeah. Wow, I can't believe you saw that and then thought of me. I don't know if I should be honored or
Well, I thought I should
devastated.
add it to the outline at least, because it's called Shartsi. And look, if I have to just, if I have to, Shartse, but whatever. Either way,
it's like my '90s R&B. I'm like Sade's like secret backup singer, maybe.
Are we going to
Shartse.
start a singer career for you, and you're going to go as Shartse?
Yeah. yeah, that'll be my next side project, my next side quest. I've got time.
I did think we needed to put a moratorium on poop talk for this episode simply because I had a colonoscopy on Friday and I was kind of over talking about poop after the.
Why didn't you text me afterwards?
Oh, I should have.
I wish I would have known.
I had a lot to brag about because 0 polyps.
Oh, great
I got
job.
the clear
Same.
10 years.
Same.
I got 10 years before I got to do it again.
I mean, I did
too?
it before you. So I was
That's
actually, I was an early adopter of the colonoscopy this year.
You claiming colonoscopies?
I am, yeah. I know we don't know the results yet of the outdoor town draft and whose draft is going to be the winner. I hope it's mine. But just in case, I want to win something. So I'm going to claim first colonoscopy of the year since I did mine in January.
Well, I'm glad to know that you're part of the 0 polyp club and you have the 10-year window as well. I was pretty excited about that. I figured there'd be at least like one in there.
I know. But, it was great. The only thing for me is that I woke up during mine. And my body is absolutely resistant to being knocked out apparently because the very first time I ever got anesthesia was when my wisdom teeth were all impacted in there and they had to yank them out. And so they put me under. I woke up while the dentist was still doing things in my mouth.
My God.
We're not finished with the procedure. And then they put me back under. And so I told the doctor, I told the anesthesiologist, I was like, hey, my body's a little, resistant to anesthesia. Make sure I stay out, please. I don't want to wake up like mid-colonoscopy, which is exactly what happened. And they had me facing the monitor so I could see the inside of my colon, which is something that was both terrifying and sort of thrilling. So,
oh, that's great.
Yeah, I don't want to do it again if I'm being honest, because they knocked me back out once I
hope so.
I said something like, "Hey, I'm awake."
Like, "Oh my God!" Everyone started screaming. There's like chaos in the room.
The doctor goes, "Uh-oh."
Well, besides the potential life-saving, part of having a colonoscopy, if you're ever interested in having all the symptoms of a stomach virus with none of the stomach cramps, I recommend it because that's basically what happens for 36 hours. So enjoy that.
It reminds me of my Giardia experience on the trail.
That was probably way worse because also you were on the trail being the operative word. Yeah, exactly. So, all right, let's get into it. We have our top stories today, which are presented by your hub for ultralight gear, GGG, Garage Grown Gear.
You know who I just got a package from today?
Garage Grown Gear.
I did, yeah. Garage Grown Gear. I ordered a whole bunch of stuff because
some refer to that as GGG. I've heard that.
Nobody does, except for you, unfortunately.
So per the inertia, I had to double check this like 3 times to make sure I wasn't like misremembering it or like just got it wrong. 100,000 new mountains were discovered below the ocean surface as a result of SWOT, which is the Surface Water and Ocean Topography Mission, which is attempting to survey the ocean as well as the bottom of the ocean. I just wanted to add this to our outline because the ocean still remains an incredible place that is largely unexplored. But so knowing that there are huge mountain ranges under the water is pretty amazing. But it's also kind of funny because it's like, well, who cares? They're underwater. Like, what are we going to do? What do we do with that information?
We're sending Jimmy Chin down there.
Well, right? I mean, someone
Aquaman,
right now is
Meru.
reading that article and is finding out a way to, quote unquote, summit these peaks. So I'm going to trademark the underwater FKT later today and then just plan to get rich later.
I wish nothing but success for you, Colin.
It's going to happen.
The Titan submersible was kind of my breaking point. Well, it actually wasn't my breaking point for underwater
It was their breaking point. Was it too soon?
No, but honestly, the ocean terrifies me.
It's really scary.
It's scary. And, I think a large part of why it terrifies me, I was an inland child. I grew up in Wisconsin, but I did grow up in Milwaukee. Lake Michigan is right there. So it's not like I'm afraid of all waters, but the ocean just seems, there's a lot of unknown. Like I remember seeing James Cameron's IMAX movie, Aliens of the Deep, which was unnecessarily terrifying. Like, did he have to make it that scary?
It was Jim Cameron, Big Jim.
So
of course
drama.
He did.
I was with 2 kids. I was babysitting for some kids at the time, and they wanted to see it. And then they both started crying about 10 minutes in. So we had to leave. But it was enough for me too. I was like, no, I'm actually good too. It's enough deep ocean.
Can we get Big Jim to go back to that though, versus another 3-hour Avatar movie, which we're getting this December, which could be amazing if it was like an hour and 20 minutes, but it's always like triple the length that it needs to be. That's my feeling.
Listen, the longer the movie, the more the money. So I'm pretty sure in his head, that's how it works out.
It isn't. It's fewer screens. It's fewer showtimes.
Yeah, but just so much. I don't know. I don't actually know. Listen, it's just an exercise in ego, I think, at this point. So.
Probably.
Why?
They are incredible looking movies, but
Here's what he should do: is he should get Jared Leto, get Jason Momoa, but dressed as Aquaman, and then he should take them to the 100,000 underwater mountains on the floor of the ocean, and then do some. And then Jimmy Chin has to be involved in some way. Probably,
he's another filmmaker,
technical director.
Right?
And I think they can get like a really exciting Vertical Limit style underwater film out of this that I would be thrilled to watch.
Why Jared Leto?
Well, didn't he did that? I don't know. I think if he's a climber and an actor, I feel like also, just put him under the sea. I think that's fine. Whether or not he comes back is not up to me. So,
yeah, I don't know, but eventually I think we're going to go down, 30 miles under the ocean, and there's going to be like rebar like stuck into the side of these mountains, and people like pulling themselves along. I don't know. There's going to be something that they do with these mountains. There's no way these mountains don't go untouched by glory seeker adventurers.
Yeah,
seeking
Nims
adventurers.
Purja is already looking at it.
Are we allowed to say his name?
Are we? I'm not keeping up on anything. Oh my God. I'm just
Isn't
bringing
he the
up
one
like
who had all
horrible.
the sexual assault
What am I
allegations
doing on this podcast?
I think he was. That was him, right? Wasn't it?
I
Nims?
think you're
Was that-
right. Oh man.
Yeah. It's never safe.
Oh, it's not.
It's like, am I allowed to like watch the Usual Suspects and enjoy it? I really want to. That movie's amazing.
You just don't tell anybody that you enjoy it.
You just
Colin.
can't.
Yeah.
Right.
Keep that in your heart.
Bummer. All right, next story. According to VCStar.com, a 38-year-old man died during a Southern California trail half marathon in Thousand Oaks, due to high temperatures on the day of the event. In addition to that, 3 other people had to be hospitalized after taking part in the Boney Mountain Trail Run half marathon, all heat-related. The course featured 4 aid stations, which that's a obscene amount of aid stations for a 13-mile course, right? That's like one every less than 4 miles, basically. So they were definitely had opportunities to, hydrate. I definitely feel for the gentleman who passed away and his family, but I also really feel for the race director in this point. I mean, it's a hot day with temps in the 90s, but like that's not that unusual for even this time of year for Thousand Oaks. It gets hot there.
Yeah.
I don't. This all just seems like an outlier. I hope that no one from the event gets blamed for this.
No, that was such a heartbreaking story to read. So I'm familiar. I've actually volunteered several times with this race company at SoCal Trail Races, and they run great races. I know one of the people on the team really, really well. She's an incredible person and has done a lot in the running community locally. And I've met the race director. He's great. It's just like such an unfortunate thing. And it got me thinking about, it being in Southern California, doing trail races, which I've done. My complaint is always like, I'm very sensitive to the heat. And so I wish we could start like when I'm running on my own, and this is why I don't sign up for a lot of trail races. In the summer, I start at 5 a.m., if I'm going out on a run, because I am really susceptible to heat-related illness, and I don't want to take my chances out there. It's not worth it for me. But it is something to think about. Like the race started at 8, I believe, and this race was actually supposed to happen back in February, but we had storms, and then there was erosion and things like that. And you also have to be thoughtful about the local trails when it rains here. So it's just all around like bad timing and bad luck and just horrible, horrible news. But I really do think, these races are run very well. And I usually am always volunteering at one of the aid stations myself. Like I always do hydration, and they do a great job at SoCal Trail Races providing that. But yeah, it's so heartbreaking. And I don't know whether he might have had some underlying health conditions. So many of us have things just kicking around in our bodies that we don't know about. And then something happens, and it's just, such sad news. But a reminder to everybody too, to just be really, there's no race that's worth winning if death is the outcome.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I have definitely, not maybe during a race, but like just out for a run or doing something. It's like, it's too hot. It's time to go home.
Yep.
Just packing it up. This is silly.
I need to go lay on the couch and ice myself.
Yeah.
Just a full body icing, maybe.
Right.
A cold plunge.
But yeah, but
it's
still, I wouldn't, it does seem like, it's kind of shocking to read that. I thought for sure like, oh, it hit 110 out or something like that. Like 90s, like, that's sort of on the edge of like when I'm starting to think about doing something else, but it's like, it's not unlikely that I would go out and try something in that kind of temperature. So I feel for everybody involved. This just sucks.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And we don't have a lot of trees down here. So you got that playing into it too. It's all chaparral on those trails. Like it's such a gorgeous trail. I've been back there before. I've actually volunteered at that race. Stunning area. But yeah, you don't have a ton of shade opportunities either. So it's really about managing yourself out there as well. And yeah, just my heart goes out to his family and everybody.
Yeah, same. If there's any updates, we'll talk about it here on the show in the future. But hey, Shawnté, do you want to know what's new at Garage Grown Gear?
Besides what I just bought from them.
You might be excited about this.
I
Stick Stashers 2.0 are here. Do you know about Stick Stashers?
Nope, not at all.
Neither do I.
Is it a place to put your sticks?
You nailed it. Do you ever want to stow away your trekking poles on a hike but don't want to take your pack off to do so?
Why, yes, I do.
Stick Stashers' new improved well, here you go. Stick Stashers' new and improved design makes it easier than ever to stash your poles in mere seconds. Stash your poles, great new band name. Just reach back with your poles and the swivel magnets attached to them for a secure hold. Also, check out one of the lightest power banks ever made, the NB Air by Nightcore, and plenty of new Alpha Direct fleece hoodies to go around. Check out these new items and more at
Garage Grown Gear.
You sounded like a mom, like chastising their kid.
Because I know you were going to say GGG because I see it in the show notes. You know what it is?
Garage Grown Gear.
It's your hub for all things ultralight backpacking. Ask me
was
how
your hand
I know.
on your hip when you were pointing? Were you pointing at me?
I was giving you the finger, but it's like the teacher finger. But also, wait.
Garage Grown Gear.
All this is the best ad because now I need to know what the NB Air is because I do have a Nightcore. And also, I will say for anybody considering Alpha Direct Fleece, I have an Alpha Direct Fleece hoodie by Senshi, and then I have bottoms by, I'm totally forgetting who the bottoms are by. Anyway, Farpoint, which I think I bought on Garage Grown Gear. Anyway, super warmth to weight ratio is unbeatable. You just need to have some sort of windbreak on if you're going to be wearing it in the breeze. But
yes, that is not. It is not for limiting airflow. I love this kind of stuff though. Like this is where innovation alive and well. Stick Stashers. Someone's like, how do I just want to put my sticks away, and they had a little magnet thing. So I got to check that out too.
I am curious.
Well done.
I am stick curious.
All right, new segment. It's time for Outdoor Pop Culture Watch, presented by Oboes, who loves hiking, and as the Cupid of the outdoors, Oboes wants to help you love hiking just as much as they do. So a few trailers, few things coming up in the old pop culture scene. If you've listened to Shawnté on here with me, over the past couple of years, and especially lately, we love ourselves some pop culture stuff. We like movies, TV, music. It's what we like.
Absolute nerds for it. I mean, and I love that we don't always agree about it, which is also my favorite. Because any chance for friction, me and podcast friction, big fan.
That's the name of the game, Let's listen to the podcast where everybody agrees all the time.
Boring.
Well, first one, a trailer dropped, a new film by The North Face. It's called The North Face Trango Film. The synopsis is, at 6,000 meters, trust in your team means everything. The North Face athletes, Christina Lusty, Jim Morrison, Nick McNutt, and Chantal Astorga, navigate unimaginable risk, grief, and constant exposure as they attempt the impossible, the first ski descent of the Great Trango Glacier. If you watch this trailer, and I'll link it in the show notes, it's kind of a throwback. It really reminds me of a lot of sort of the sort of mountain films we would get in the 90s, early 2000s, things like that. Those big inspirational sweeping vistas and, people fighting against the elements to achieve their goals. And isn't it badass? The kind of stuff that really, I think, inspired our generation. But I do know that if I ever watch this movie, I'll probably think it's overly earnest and could probably be bored by the million of tropes that I've already seen in other films.
You're so jaded.
Right? I really am. But man, do I love a well-cut expedition trailer. I think the premise of the movie will be better than the movie itself is my prediction, but I'll definitely watch this.
I mean, wow. I feel like ever since Meru, climbing film trailers are basically like the trailer for Cliffhanger minus Stallone. But would I watch it? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love a good climbing film. The North Face did an amazing film about Hillary Nelson's ski descent of Lhotse, like speaking of other Himalayan peaks.
Not Shartsy.
Not Shartsy. Oh, I can't. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm going to have to look up the actual pronunciation of that when we get done recording. Because I can't accept it.
I can't wait for you to tell me, oh my God, it's actually Shartsy.
I won't tell you. I'll be like, what? I don't remember us having this conversation.
I never said I was going to look that up.
No, the North Face does make some excellent films. I mean, they clearly have the money behind it. They have the production values. They always bring on amazing teams. They always deliver. So whether or not it's your thing, you're going to get what they are bringing to you. Like they're going to go in, they're going to create a story. There's going to be drama, and it's going to be beautifully shot. So I will absolutely watch it.
I think it's going to come down to the runtime, because if this is like a 12 to 20 minute kind of thing, it'll probably be great. Sometimes I've seen, I think maybe some Arc'teryx films or something recently where it's like 55 minutes, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not really down for, outdoor drama for 55 minutes. Like, set it up, pay it off, let's get out of here,
What if it was Into the Void Part 2? You would watch 100.
They went back.
They went back to reevaluate their
and the
friendship.
same thing happened.
But
Can you imagine the
sponsored by
odds?
Arc'teryx this time.
Right.
Jimmy Chin is directing.
Well, now, okay, you're talking me
See?
into it.
You don't know. Don't write it all off.
All right, the next movie that's coming out, and I sent you this trailer a couple of weeks ago, and it comes out, I think, in a week. It's called The North. And the synopsis of this movie, again, trailers in the show notes. What is it like to hike 600 kilometers with your oldest friend? The North is a fiction film following Luis and Chris as they hike the West Highland Way and the Cape Wrath Trail, walk alongside them through Scottish rain, midges, mountains, and the vast soundscapes of the Highlands. I'm genuinely excited for this.
Oh, I know you are.
Right?
You've texted me about it multiple times.
Well, it's such a cool premise. For the listener, they actually filmed this while out backpacking. The story is fiction, but they filmed it while out. I don't know if they actually hiked the trail or if they just went as long as they had to film the movie. But so it's an authentic documentary of the backpacking part of it. But then there's a story that they built into it, which usually a lot of outdoor films is where they kind of lose me after a while. It's like, I don't really care.
Right.
It's like I don't want to just watch people skiing or people doing whatever. So it's kind of like this to me is the solution. Like, create real movies, but with real outdoor activities.
I know. I love it. I mean, I'm sure they have different filming requirements or permit requirements out there, because you would never have that happen here. You can't just be, I'm going to go hike the JMT and film a narrative film while I'm doing it. Then again, Mile and a Half, that documentary that everybody loves about that trail, is out and about. But I think getting a filming, I don't think those guys got filming permits, but actually they might have.
Well, the Explorer Act just
remember.
addressed that, right? Didn't the Explorer Act have a whole thing about now you can film in national parks and things like that?
Yeah.
Or there's more
I
avenues
think
in order
more,
to film
yeah,
there?
I think they're opening it up for more of that, or just make it easier, because but you have to go through the permitting process. So
Right.
But no, I mean, I do think it's a really interesting premise. I love the idea of that kind of mix of authentic, real action and then the narrative behind it. I think it's a really creative idea. I'm curious to see how the narrative goes. Like, is it a strong story, or is it just like, okay, it's a cool idea in a pretty setting? So I think
It's a good point.
I think I got to watch this. We got to watch
That's a
it.
good
We got to
point.
talk about it again.
Yeah, we will absolutely be reviewing this when it comes out, because depending on how long, if it ends up just being like bad, we can't finish it bad.
Pretend
like,
we never
then,
said anything about it.
Yeah, no.
Remember
we
that
didn't
it was
mention that film.
Colin who brought it up. Okay, listener.
Again, I'm hoping like it doesn't even need to be over an hour. 55 minutes.
What's up with you? And like, what happens if it's
I'm
an
over the
hour
long
and
run
15?
times. I think
Really?
am
What is
I
a
getting
long
old?
run time to you?
Well,
I mean, James Cameron 3-hour epics, kibosh. I'm not into
a little
that.
much.
But
Well, they never have the story to support it.
but
That's
what
the
if
problem
they
with
do?
those
That's
movies.
the whole point here. Maybe it
Then
does.
it's great. I love like Avengers Endgame, great movie, 3 hours long. Love that movie. But usually we don't get like 90-minute movies anymore. Like when we were growing up, there were a lot of like 85-minute runtime movies.
Nobody is saying no to filmmakers anymore. Is what's happening. There's like somehow we've lost that middle tier of like no sayers, and everybody is a yes man.
Seriously. All right, last trailer that came out this week was You vs. Wild Season 8, apparently. I didn't know there were 8 seasons of this. This is Bear Grylls' show. Where
I
he's
didn't know
back.
there was one season of this.
Me either. I went trolling around on Netflix because they have a lot of good adventure shows. Like, let's do a TV show. And I'm like, oh my God, Bear Grylls, You vs. Wild. And then as I was preparing for this, I realized that it's been out for like 6 years. So this is the show where Bear Grylls goes out into nature and makes key decisions. The viewers help him make key decisions to help Bear survive and thrive and complete missions in the harshest environments on Earth. What do you got for Bear? What do you think about Bear?
I know. Okay, I'll give the man credit. He's a very experienced outdoorsman. But oh my God, he is so damn corny. I cannot. It's adventuretainment. Like
Totally.
Back in the day, if you were going to ask me, are you into Bear Grylls or are you into Survivor Man? I'm going full Survivor Man. He shows you how he gets his camera angles. He's setting it all up himself. He's a lot more down to earth. He's Canadian. He's.
Why did you say it?
You know Because I don't know why I just said Canadian like that.
He's a good little Canadian.
He's a nice little Canadian. Just a small man. I don't know why. I'm so sorry, Les Stroud, Survivor Man.
Sorry, Canada is what you should be saying.
I'm not. I would love Canada. Please adopt me.
Yeah, no kidding. Take me
I
too.
love Canada. It's nice.
Yeah, me too.
Its people are generally nice. But I would be a full-on 110% Survivor Man. Like, put me in, buddy. I want to come hang with you. Bear Grylls, I think, would get on every single last one of my available nerves, and then maybe even some that aren't available. I don't know. Yeah. I can't watch long stints with him. I did enjoy, wasn't it him that did the celebrity? A celebrity would go out with him. I mean, it all, again, seems kind of put on, but some of the situations seemed real. Like, those people looked real afraid. Sometimes you could tell they were going really deep. And that was probably the most realistic I think I've ever seen Bear. But here's the thing I don't get about this show, and I guess I need to watch it. So before anybody writes in hate mail, although Colin, I think, wants to get any kind of mail, myrockfight@gmail.com.
Thank you.
You just, please, this man's inbox is empty. Send him something.
I'm so lonely.
But my problem with this is, like, okay, if this is like a choose your own adventure version of a TV show where we, the viewer, are supposed to be telling Bear what the hell to do with his life out there, isn't the whole point of Bear Grylls that he knows how to do everything? Like, can't this man just make the decisions for himself?
Well, he can. I think that's just the conceit of the show, right?
It's a weird conceit.
Well, let's try. We're gonna watch it. I'm gonna start watching it while you're on. Right, we got to watch this. I got to at least watch it. Well, at least give it an episode and see.
All right.
He is absolutely insufferable.
Yeah,
I think for sure. But I don't know, man. He takes outdoorsy shit and he makes television gold with it. Like, it's impossible not to watch if you start watching one of these things with him. And even if you know that what he's doing is kind of bullshit, he makes it entertaining. He really does. I mean, that's the Les Stroud thing. Like, yeah, agreed. My money's on him if I really want to watch somebody survive. But boy, he could be really boring too. Like, here I am still sitting in camp,
in the outdoors, whittling.
Right. It's 20-minute montage of me sitting here whittling while waiting for rescue, versus like Bear's like, I'm going to eat that pile of horse crap and see what happens. I'm really hungry. It's like, all right, I'm going to go with the horse crap guy.
All right. Wait, see, you figured out a way to bring poop back into it. I just want to point it out.
Damn it. You're in my head, Shawnté.
We're going to start getting some real weird listeners on this podcast.
Today's Outdoor Pop Culture Watch on The Rock Fight was presented by Oboes, who wants to share their love of hiking, and we want to help them by uncovering all the different ways we love to take the long walk, including the following. Number 1, leaves don't care if you have a six-pack, right?
Leaves?
I don't even really know what that means, but I mean, leaves, you're out there by yourself, you're being healthy, they don't care what you look like, you're just sort of, having a good time in nature.
Leaves don't care if you have a, keg. Leaves are just leafing.
That's true. Maybe that's what they meant by this six-pack with, carrying a six-pack.
No, I think they meant
leaves
abs.
don't care if you have 6 Miller Lights in your backpack.
No,
that's better.
They won't judge you for it. Colin might. I will.
Number 2, it's cheaper than therapy.
That's true.
Actually, I don't know.
Well, it depends.
It depends on the insurance you have, really.
It depends on how much gear you get from garage-grown gear.
That's where you should order it from, over at garagegrowngear.com.
Now we're just
All right,
cross-polling.
Number 3, 2 words: forest bathing. You ever forest bathe? You ever take a bath in the forest?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you feel like when you're in nature, you're just bathing in the nature of it all?
Yeah, you're just marinating in the aura out there.
All right, now it sounds like we're on open container.
It's like emotional ASMR.
And number 4, hiking means the Bridger Boot Collection. The Bridger Ridge is here to help you smooth out the rough trails in front of you. With enhanced stability and protection, the Bridger Ridge is Oboes' first boot with Gore-Tex. So bring on the smiles and the miles in the Bridger Ridge. And if you're near Taos, New Mexico, not only did you hear dangerous Doug Schnitzbahn draft your town during last week's Best Outdoor Town Draft, but you can also pick up a pair of Oboes Bridger Ridges at Taos Mountain Outfitters. This hiking appreciation moment is brought to you by Oboes of Bozeman, Montana. Certified B Corp, 6 million tree planter, inhabitant of the greater Yellowstone ecosystem. Oboes is the maker of premium quality footwear for the trail and the Cupid to the outdoor world. Oboes, love hiking.
It's time for a party shot.
All right, time for the parting shot. And also today, according to Inertia, that despite the continued rise of the cost of lift tickets, the National Ski Areas Association reported that the 2024-2025 ski season in the United States is the second busiest we've ever seen. And that's with all the bad PR around Vail as well. There were 61.5 million visitors to ski resorts this past winter, which is second only to 2022-2023, which was the post-COVID season. Nearly half of those, 49% of the visitations, were from season pass holders, with another major contribution being an increase in visits to small and medium resorts. I suppose that's a good thing. This increase makes me a little concerned, that people are starting their outdoor journey skiing, which I don't think really represents the best of the outdoors.
Wait, what about skiing is concerning to you as an introductory sport?
I just think it's not, if that's where you're going to get your first taste of the outdoors, then you got to pay to do it. You got to drive there. You got lift lines, all the things that I have been on the record of that I don't like about resort skiing.
Mm-hmm.
And then if that's where you don't branch out, it doesn't really provide the opportunity to branch beyond the sort of infrastructure of skiing.
Maybe they could get into maybe we'll see a new sport, which is underwater skiing. There's 100,000 mountains down there just waiting for it.
In a way, skiing is like skiing on water.
It's true.
Frozen water.
It's really true. I'm saying this as somebody who does not ski. I've cross-country skied in Wisconsin, which is actually, I think, a nice, although cold, introductory sport. I did it when I was a kid.
I agree.
And it was nice. You're tired as shit afterwards, but you really work your haunches while you're doing it. But very, pleasing. It's a very pleasing experience just being in the quiet winter in the forest or wherever you're cross-country skiing.
It is.
Yeah, I tried downhill once, and I am pure pizza wedge, and then the pizza starts melting, and then it starts tumbling downhill, and then the pizza's like, hey, I may break a bone now. So the pizza doesn't ski anymore.
I think everyone. Well, you should try skiing again. I think you could. I mean, if your corns can handle it, but I think that might be a thing to.
I can't believe you invoked my corns. There was only one corn, Colin. One solitary corn.
Well, leads to more, I guess. I don't know how corns breed,
work.
but that's what's going.
You don't know anything about corns, Colin. This is not a podiatry podcast.
But it's the I think skiing is important. Skiing is good. Skiing is fun. And that's it's not what I'm saying. I just think that if your outdoorsy pals are like, oh, try skiing, it's like, well, you're kind of the wrong people to give newbies advice, right? You know all what to do and know where to go and how to do it. I feel like if you want to get people into the outdoors, take them for a walk alongside a creek. Sit there and bathe in nature, like we just talked about. Enjoy being outside.
Literally.
See, oh my God, this is beautiful out here. How do you get here? Well, you come down this trail, and that's how you discover this. And then you kind of start your journey there. So, I mean, do you remember the things that made you want to go be outdoorsy? Do you remember are there any sort of inception moments of that is the thing that kind of made me get outside?
Yeah, I do actually. I mean, I would say it's a little twofold. The little sparkle fairy dust is I grew up in Milwaukee, and Milwaukee has a very amazing park system. The county parks there are incredible. It's well documented. I'm pretty sure they've won awards or certifications, or someone just talks about it a lot. But great park. So that was kind of the beginning of it. And then I've mentioned this before, but the Boys and Girls Club that I went to had a summer camp. And going to Camp Whitcomb Mason, we got some fan mail from one of my former counselors, which was amazing. Jessica Boris Schumacher, you're the best. I went to summer camp. They had a free overnight trip. Just check it out, see if you like it, kid. I was 8 years old. And I remember going, and this camp had a lake, it had a big meadow, it had forest, all these cabins. And I just remember feeling happy and calm. And I grew up in an inner city, very urban part of Milwaukee. And it was...
Yeah, you had a big gang background, right?
Not me, but I do know people who were... I was in a house once that got shot up right after I left it. But
oh my God.
I was an angel child, okay? So no gang affiliations for me unless it was the Care Bear gang. But no, it was
that was the worst
camp.
one.
It was badass, Rainbow Bear gonna beat you up with happiness. That's my style. Very aggressively polite. I loved it though. I got out there and I learned over many summers, learned how to fish. I started hiking. We went camping for the first time, went rock climbing, mountain biking, all of it with camp. And it was definitely my gateway drug. So thank you, Camp Whitcomb Mason. But you're right. It was just starting off with smelling pine trees, essentially.
Yeah.
It was the smell of life. I'm into this.
Look, maybe I will get some hate mail now about I continue to beat up on skiing. Skiing's great. I just sort of I see that number going up. It's like, it doesn't feel sustainable to me with climate change and everything else. It's like, everybody should try skiing. Go skiing.
Maybe
I think
people need to get into water skiing. Maybe that's what should be changing.
And go check out
up.
the 100,000 mountains that are under the water.
So much unexplored territory.
So much.
Real out of bounds.
As long as you can hold your breath. Yeah. But anyway, that's my parting shot.
Scuba skiing.
I'm telling you, it's going to happen. FKT, underwater FKTs. I'm putting my money on that.
Who do you think is going to do it? Is it
Killian Jornet?
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Actually, yeah. He'll just get a scuba kit and go run it out. Now that he knows, he's probably already down there.
He probably was like, I got to get down there before anybody else does. It's called Solomon. I need a special shoe.
I need an aquatic runner.
Yeah, that's right. All right, that's the show for today. We want your emails. Like we said, send them to us. Send them to myrockfight@gmail.com. The Rock Fight's a production of Rock Fight LLC. For Shawnté Salabert, I'm Colin Truth. Thanks for listening. Krista makes his back. He's here. He's going to sing the Rock Fight fight song, and we'll see you next time, Rock Fighters.
Rock fight.